Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we have the T95E6, the more and more popular American Tier 10 medium tank. Now, this is obviously the reward vehicle for completing the Valor missions, and I'm seeing it more often on the battlefield. So I thought it would be a good time to give this tank a bit of a review, just see what it's all about. I've had a chance to play quite a few games in this already, and I believe I have a pretty good opinion on it, which I really wanted to share with you guys. So, without further delay, let's have a quick look at these tank statistics, shall we? So, first thing first, let's have a look at the gun. So, reload time, 8.3 seconds reload. Now, remember, this is a 400 alpha damage gun. When you put a skilled crew in this tank, combine it with food and modules, you are able to get this reload time under 7 seconds. So think about it, 400 damage under 7 seconds. It doesn't take long to work it out, and you'll be able to realize this is a very high damage per minute tank, and this is really the main feature of the tank. Is really what stands out, because everything else about this tank doesn't stand out and is pretty poor. So yeah, keep that in mind. 2.3 seconds aiming time, I guess that's fairly average for a tier 10 medium. But what really is quite frustrating is the accuracy, guys, at 100 meters is 0.38. And yes, that really shows in battle. It's very annoying. You can't really snipe in this thing. So you have to take it to medium to close range engagements, because that's where it does well. What else? 9 degrees of depression, gun depression. Yeah, that's really good to have, and you can actually work with the ridge lines. So remember that. In terms of rotation speed, 46 degrees. Like I said, nothing really to write home about in terms of other aspects of this tank. 410 meters view range, that's good to know, because yes, you can spot pretty well on large maps. But yeah, all the other things about this tank are pretty poor. That's what really, that's how it feels in battle. The only thing that really stands out and it makes you feel good about is the damage per minute. When you get it into position, oh, you can really chew through the enemy. So that's what I really wanted to highlight. Now, another thing that really annoyed me is the shell velocity is only 1067 meters per second. So this is quite low for a medium tank. On the plus side, you do get the same speed for premium rounds. So that's good to know. And including the high explosives, not too bad, eh? In terms of armor, what about the armor? The armor is very weak. The hull especially is very weak. The turret again is, it's fairly sloped, but like I said, you can't trust it. You can't rely on it. You do bounce every now and then, but not reliably. And especially with this huge weak spot on top, which looks like a mushroom. This thing is only, I'll show you very quickly. It is only, just look at it, 63 all round, with a bit of higher armor, well, better armor in front, but again, 177. Everyone is going to penetrate that. Try to hide it as much as you can. Wiggle and move. Don't expose yourself. This tank is not for brawling. This tank is for sneaky play, flanking, and yeah, try to keep it close to the enemy, like you'll see in the gameplay actually. What else I can tell you? Setup, standard setup, coated optics, rammer, and stabilizer. I run with food, of course, just to maximize on the statistics of the tank. And let's have a quick look at the how I'm doing so far. 67% win rate in 86 battles, and I'm currently just past the second mark of excellence, currently grinding the third. But without further ado, let's have a look at some gameplay, shall we? Right then, so Overlord, and this is an encounter. It's not really the type of play I enjoy. I don't really like encounters or assaults. I prefer the standard play just because it's a bit more balanced, I believe. But hey, what can we do? Now, what I was just thinking I want to get close to the base because it has happened before, and I'm pretty sure it's happened to every single one of you that the base gets capped, especially when your forces prefer to fight on the beach and they completely forget about the cap circle, and that's just not a nice outcome. It's quite frustrating. So I was just trying to spot, see if there's anyone in this dip, and just slowly trying to make my way towards the cap circle and protect it. Um, this tank, yeah, is fairly, I was saying, is quite poor in other departments, but no, I mean, the mobility is not too bad. The mobility is decent. Um, Obviously, I was referring to its armor and the poor accuracy gun, but it's fairly mobile. You can reposition fairly quickly. Is not as fast as a leopard in terms of speed or rotation speed, things like that. Um, it's not as fast as an object, any of the object tier 10 medium tanks, the 430, the 140, the T62As. They're definitely a bit more mobile, um, but this is not slow by any means. Now, I'm trying to get into position to start taking shots at his T57 heavy, but you can see I'm struggling to penetrate. So I already fired, what, 3 rounds and no damage, which is a bit crazy, but okay, maybe fair enough. Maybe my aim wasn't the greatest, but still 3 rounds wasted. Managed to put one into this guy. Uh, I'm kind of refusing to fire heat at this stage in the battle because I think it's too early. Now another shot wasted on that 705, which is unfortunate. I do feel this gun definitely feels more like a heavy tank gun. Feels a bit sluggish, a bit slow. It's not a snapshot gun, but it kind of works at this kind of distance. So you can see I'm now starting to connect the shots. Um, I'm not too far away from the enemies. Now, again, that is only a module shot, but I'm not sure if I was aiming poorly or this gun is just trolling me. But finally, I take this guy out, which is great because yeah, it looks like they really decided to cap the base, and this is what I was talking about. If you're not careful, you can get capped on Overlord very quickly, especially that we have quite a few. Well, now there's a few more tanks joining the battle up here, but obviously quite a few of our tanks are fighting on the beach. So now I'm deciding, let me just get even closer because, like I said in the introduction, this is where the gun really shines and the tank overall. And now, look, the gun depression, 9 degrees. Yes, you can definitely make use of it. Um, it's a great gun when you position it correctly. So now I'm just trying to just chew up this STG. He's hiding behind the bunker. Not sure what he's hoping to do there, but he is pretty much screwed. And now I'm thinking I need to go maybe even more aggressively, trying to. I really want to take out this T57 heavy because T57 is not a tank you want to face, especially later in the battle. It can make such a difference. That tank is incredible. But look, I'm very close to him, and I'm connecting the shots, no problem. This is the best range. Oh, look at this. I'm exposing myself. And like I said, this is a tank that is not going to bounce. Obviously, I was peeking sideways, so there's no hope I'm going to bounce anything. But yeah, this tank is not going to bounce rounds if you expose like that. So keep that in mind and be careful. Um, yeah, going back to this T57, really, I can see the fuel tank was taken out, and now I'm aiming. I'm not auto aiming. I was actually aiming for the towards the rear of the tank, hoping for a fire, and a fire it was. How good does that feel? You set a tank on fire. So I was happy with that, and now just peeking over this ridge just to to farm this inferno, because why not? This is pretty much cheap shots, easy damage, but look just how quickly I'm able to deal damage, just racking up very quickly, which is very impressive. But now I was thinking, well, that guy is pretty much dead anyway. Let's just leave it to our teammates and focus on farming this object instead. Um, and I'm trying to be careful. I don't want to fall down, don't want to go over the cliff. But I get interrupted. Someone is shooting from behind. And sure enough, is the Object 140. And the Object 140 is just another DPM monster, very known for his high DPM, and is not something you want to sit in front of, because you get sent back to the garage very quickly. And if you want to see how this tank compares to it and to the Badger, very known for its monster DPM, now you can see 2892 is not too far behind them. So yeah, the T95E6, a tank that you should be scared of, because yeah, it's just great in that regard. Can deal damage very quickly. And look at this, one shot into this 140. So I came around trying to flank it. He's coming back but very quickly. Another one, and sure enough, he's trying to come for me very aggressively, but too late. There's another shot. I think I think the players are not. I've noticed sometimes um, players are not expecting this tank to deal damage so quickly, so they think they can. Obviously, I had quite a lot of HP, so I don't know what that Object 140 was thinking, because he had no chance anyway. But just in general, when you're low HP and you can still take a shot, you can see the enemy thinking, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna take this guy out," and you can very quickly take him out instead, and you can tell they're surprised. They're probably not expecting it. I think players will have to get used to these tanks' rates of fire, because yeah, it's no joke. And I'm just fluffing a couple of high explosive rounds. I'm trying to obviously shoot the butt of this T95, and I managed to put the last one in, and that is pretty much over. Obviously, really happy with the result. First of all, it's a victory, but second of all, it's a very good damage battle. Just over 8,000 in just, what was it, about 7 minutes of gameplay. 52,000 credits, so not too bad. Shots fired, 30 rounds, 29 direct hits, and penetrations 23. Now this is about 80% penetration rate. Yeah, I can't really complain. But then again, that's because I was close to the enemy. You know, if you hold back and if you're sniping, you will definitely not get to 80%. You'll probably drop around 50, if not even, probably even less than that. So definitely keep that in mind, because you have to be close to the enemy in order to do well in this tank, and you have to position correctly. It's all about that. But now, another battle on a second replay on Pacific Island, the stormy Pacific Island, which I don't really like. But this position is a very strong one, I have to say. Um, it's very risky whenever you come up this hill, but it can be so rewarding. Obviously, I was trying to get some spotting damage, as well as spotting for myself to be able to deal damage directly. But yeah, I'm looking around. I can see there's no one really here apart from that M103, which I'm able to connect a shot into. And now I'm just hoping, can I farm here? And sure enough, there's a second round very quickly. And I'm just waiting. I'm waiting and waiting, because I can see I've got a couple of guns behind me. So hopefully they can support if I get YOLO'd. And by the way, this position, whether you're on this side or on the other spawn, and you come up this hill, So many times it happened that I got YOLO'd, rushed by medium and light tanks just to take me out very quickly. Because yes, you can really annoy the enemy from this position. You spot them, you can damage them. Yeah, I put one round into this guy. Probably doesn't know what's happening. There's a tree between us, so that makes it even worse. Obviously, you have the storm, which decreases the view range massively, and if there's bushes between you and the enemy, forget it. They're not gonna spot you, so you can shoot freely. I fluff a shot there into that Pantera. Unfortunately, I got a bit too carried away, and now I'm just waiting. I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm thinking now this flank is pretty much secure, so I need to maybe advance a little bit, just slowly, but sure enough, that gorilla is trying to advance and obviously support that flank. But this is great for me because I can put some side shots into them and this Conway as well. And just look at it so quickly. And now I can, boom, just another one into the track with some damage. So absolutely fantastic gun. But then again, look at the range. It's not that close, but it's kind of medium sort of range. And the gun works, and you don't always have to fully aim. You can afford to snapshot, because obviously it's not such a great distance. But now I really want to go forward, so I need to get rid of this guy very quickly, and just going behind the enemies and just try to advance there. And what else we've got here? We've got this Conway, who is now dead, and there's this Mr. Gorilla. Mr. Gorilla was very aggressive, I've noticed, so I decided, hang on a second, maybe it's probably better for me to shoot some high explosive at this guy. High explosive can be quite deceiving at times, so I only do about 200 damage, and yeah, that is really frustrating, but that's probably because I didn't aim properly. And there's one more tank here, the Lover, which is pretty much toast, has no chance, surrounded. And now we can afford to just shoot enemies from behind very shortly. Just have to get rid of this Pantera. But just look at the insane rate of fire. Just round after round, very quickly. And you're rolling 430, 450 sometimes. Is if you get lucky, of course. Obviously, there's the other side of the RNG. You can roll for 310. So yeah, it's all about RNG, guys. But overall, you can make this gun work, especially if you take it into the right situation. If you position favorably, yes, you can take full advantage of the rate of fire and have a very enjoyable battle. That's for sure, as you've just seen. Obviously, it helps if the enemy team has no team, like in this second replay. Yeah, that obviously helps because it allows you to deal damage easier. But just in general, I've noticed this tank can be enjoyable at times. Yes, you will probably have to curse and swear many other times, but hey, it is what it is. You can't have it all. You have a high rate of fire, obviously lower accuracy, not much armor. The tank is fairly mobile, but again, not too impressive. It doesn't get off the line very quick, so the acceleration is kind of average, I would say. Top speed, again, nothing too impressive there. So I can't really call this tank a jack of all trades because it isn't. This is all about the damage per minute, and that's all there is, guys. That's all there is to the T95E6. Now, I don't know how you find this tank, how you're doing with it. If you already unlocked it, feel free to comment in the section below. I'll be very interested to find out. And I hope this review was useful to you. I hope you were able to, or I was able to clarify a few things about it. And if you enjoyed it, please give it a like, guys, and subscribe to the channel support the channel. There's going to be a lot more to come. But until next time, happy tanking.